curious about, look, what this is happening on a global region and a Caribbean-wide region. So now what can I do in my household? What can I do in my school, my community? And it asks me simple questions about my life, about what I can improve to contribute positively to the questions that your report has on the polls as well. And it certainly
allows you, I would assume, to broaden your perspective, because I'm here in Grenada not realizing that some of the very challenges that I may be grappling with, you in Trinidad and the South, in Trinidad and Tobago, or somebody up the islands, North America, Europe, Africa, Canada, they face, it may not be in the same setting, but the circumstances, they're correlated.
Yes, absolutely. I think your report is also just about unifying, and specifically looking at the Caribbean region, it definitely unifies young people, and that is something that we really need right now. We need that intergenerational change. We need our elders in society, our parents, our mentors, our teachers and guardians to guide us. And we need platforms like your report and organizations like this to guide us so that we can work together in solidarity to combat these issues that we are facing.
The platform as it is there an age limit to who can be part of your report, and how do I become actively involved in terms of being part of the platform?
Well, the platform is a free social messaging tool that can be used from young people from the ages of 13 to 29. And your report just wants to hear your perspective. So it's really easy to join. All you have to do is send the word join to your report OECS or WhatsApp 758-287-2124 or use Facebook Messenger. And you will be asked about 3 basic questions for your registration, and it's anonymous and confidential. And you participate in various polls on issues that affect young people, all via your mobile phone. And your poll, your answers, and your opinions are collected, and the data is analyzed in real-life time, and they are shared with decision makers, organizations, governments, ministries, and it improves the accountability and strengthens existing youth programs, so that data is used on a wider level as well. But it's really easy to join and really easy to use, and it's very simple for young people to just log on to and get an insight on these issues.
The data that is collected, what happens to it there? And we say it's collated and the stats is there. What happens thereafter with it?
Yes, so after it is collected, it is shared with the relevant organizations, Caribbean-wide, region-wide, and even sometimes globally, and as well as government ministries to help start implementing solutions and also bring awareness to the issues. And we start with advocacy. We start bringing awareness to these issues to make more young people aware, more adults aware as well. And bringing awareness to these issues is really, really important so that not only people know what is happening, but they also know what they can do to contribute positively. So your report takes your opinions, what you answer on the polls, on a wider level and shares it Caribbean-wide.
Sharing it Caribbean-wide, 24 minutes gone past the hour of 11 o'clock in the morning time, right here in GBN Television. My guest this morning, ADPRA, as I'm speaking with, it's U Report Ambassador Priyanka Lala. Looking at U Report, the platform as it is, organized by platform that's engaged by UNICEF, and literally, as we're saying, Priyanka, it just provides young people with a platform that they can feel free to share, engage with other young, and that's what is particularly important about this one, because there are other social media platforms, but sometimes it can become, as you would agree, very divisive, because you may have adults who may probably necessarily not see the issues through the eyes of another young person. In this case, you can feel comfortable that there's other young people, like-minded, sharing the same views, maybe in a different demographic, but having the common interest.
Yes, absolutely. This platform is all about bringing up the younger generation, bringing up my generation, having that intergenerational conversation and uplifting young people and what we have to say, using our voices to create change.
You know, very often, though, Priyanka, there's always going to be the naysayers, and you as an ambassador, you're an active part of the program, and you can always hear a young person saying, you know what, this is not for me. They do not listen to us anyway. What would be your response to that claim?
Well, I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I think that the important thing is sticking to it. No matter if you're not hearing your voice heard on a wide level or throughout decision making, what you have to say will impact one young person or one adult somewhere, and that will have a wave and a flow of impact, and your voice will be heard. And I think it's so important for young people to understand that they have the right to use their voice, they have the right to freedom of speech, but they also have the power to use it and the power for their voice to be heard. And I think that Your Report especially is such a great program for this, because a lot of the time young people think, okay, well, no one's actually going to listen to me. Adults don't really care what I have to say. But Your Report is a great example to show that adults do care. These professionals, these decision makers want to hear what you have to say and want to implement your solutions, what you have to say, into the actual decision-making process. And it's such a great platform that is welcoming, that is really listening to what young people have to say and giving us the right to use our voice and the power to use it truly.
And certainly provides yet another tool for networking, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It gives young people also that communication and collaboration throughout the world, but especially here looking in the Caribbean region. It's so important to have that unity through Caribbean islands and have our island brother and sisters be united in combating whatever issues we face, whether it's climate change, abuse, whatever issues we're facing. Your report really helps us unite.
What in your mind, if you don't mind, you've been part of the platform for more than 4 years. Is there anything in particular that you've been attempting to champion? And is there any specific success stories or stories in the working that you're willing to share with somebody out there that's probably still borderline as to whether should or I shouldn't be part of this engagement?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I started when I was 10 as a zero waste blogger, and then I heard about the platform Your Report, and I thought, well, this is a great platform. I should join, start giving my opinion, start answering polls. And when I started becoming more aware of what's happening in my region, more aware of what is happening with young people specifically, I started advocating on social media, becoming more engaged in youth-focused decision-making, youth-focused activism. And after doing this, after zero waste blogging, and with the support of Your Report, of course, I became the first UNICEF youth advocate for the Eastern Caribbean. And since then, I've continued to work with many other organizations, many other global organizations and regional organizations. And it shows that the power of Your Report really can push not only your perspectives, but help you create a wider range of reach to help teach and educate other young people. It has such a wide reach and so much potential to really engage young people. And I think that by, just having our young people be involved in this platform will create so much more change, so much more regional change when it comes to young people being involved. And no matter how much reach you have, someone is always listening, especially when it comes to Your Report. There's always somebody there to respond to you. The platform is great. You can always have feedback. And I think that's the really great thing about Your Report. And I think that's also what really helped me with my advocacy as well and helped me reach this level.
It's also important that sometimes you think that you're all alone and it is discouraging, but with Your Report, you can well appreciate that that Your Report is present in 85 countries and millions of users across the world. Can you give us any specific stats, though, Priyanka, before we wrap, as to the movement in the Caribbean, our local? Because just at least so that we can push the message home that this is not a platform that it caters just for Europeans, not Americans, but this is truly a platform that us as Grenadians, Trinidadians, Caribbean people can truly add our voices to and become positive change agents.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there are approximately, I believe, 600,000 young people that live in the region and part of the global movement. There are 15 million users in 85 countries so far. And as young people in the Caribbean, we need to unify and we need to be engaged in this important decision making. And Europort right now, they have 1,333 Europorters signed up since 2020, and that has doubled in over 6 weeks with the online launch now. So I think that specifically looking at the Caribbean region, we have so much potential to engage our young people to really make this platform even bigger than it already is. I mean, it's across the world. And I think that really utilizing this in the Caribbean will show us that even though we are small island developing states, we matter just as much as larger countries, larger cities, and we face problems, similar problems, different problems when it comes to climate change, other issues, but we have problems too, and they should be equally resolved in the same way that larger countries are. And Europort, even though it's used across the world, it can definitely be used in small island developing states, and it can be used effectively, and it can be used to create positive change throughout the Caribbean and create this flow of just positivity through young people as well.
Indeed. My guest this morning, thank you, Priyanka Lala. 4 years now, and joined when you were 10. And I guess it seems, I mean, if we didn't do the mathematics, it would seem as if it was just yesterday. But 4 years, I'm really happy that you're able to share in this, and I'm certainly hoping that as time progresses, that more young persons in Trinidad, in Grenada, and across the region would get on board in sharing in the insights and the vision that you so heartedly and openly you've spoken about. Well, folks, in case you're wondering what's the next move, as Priyanka says, it is easy. You can join by WhatsApping 758-287-2124 and just type in the word join. Simple like that. And you get a chance to network with other wonderful Caribbean and young people like Priyanka and others. And you might be surprised, there may just be somebody in your village that probably share the word. You've been beckoning for it. A platform that allows you to speak and speak openly, and you know that there are other young people that's sharing in it. It's a global movement. Priyanka, 85 countries, 15 million people, and certainly it's an opportunity for the Caribbean to become an active partner and share in the voice of what's happening, issues that affects us not here at home. As you said, climate change, crime, so many things, COVID as it is now. If we ever see, if it seems as though we do not have a common conversation, maybe a good place to start is with COVID. How we navigate through this pandemic. But how you, as a young person, before I go, COVID as it is, though, how have you been coping on a personal level, mentally? We've had conversations about keeping it mentally stable in your head, dealing with the nuances, the back and forth, the information. How do you deal with it as a 14-year-old?
Yes, absolutely. Well, this is actually one of the issues that Europort addressed early in the pandemic, and it still addresses now, where looking at the perspectives of the young people, how we've been coping, what challenges we've been facing. You know, the pandemic was a really quick change for us. So I think Europort also helped a lot of people try to adjust to the pandemic, get their perspectives and take it to the decision makers. But personally, for me, I think it looks a lot about just narrowing it down to remembering what I enjoy, remembering the little things like going outside, playing with my pets, going for a walk in the neighborhood, things like that to keep me grounded and off the online platform as well. And I think Europort also had advocacy programs where they talked about, you know, go outside, hear from a young person, look what they're doing as well. And I think it's so important also to create that unity throughout a pandemic. Make sure to talk to your friends, even if it's virtually, your family, and just keep grounded, keep connected. Remember the things that make you happy, and remember that this is something that will be short term. We will return to a new normal eventually, but we can adjust to this for now, and remember to stay grounded. Remember to just do what you enjoy, whether that's playing football, whether going outside, something simple. And I think that especially we as young people really need that sense of physical activity in our lives. So just narrowing it down and focusing on what you enjoy is really important.
Staying focused, staying grounded, and continue to do the things that you enjoy. Thank you, Priyanka Lala, our youth ambassador for You Report. Indeed, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and looking forward to having this conversation 6 months down the line to get an appreciation as to exactly where you are with You Report and the different advocacy issues that have been brought to the fore by other young people as yourself in Trinidad, here in Grenada, and across the rest of the region. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of it. All the best to you. 25 minutes. 25 minutes onto the upswing of 12 o'clock. Reminding you at the top of the hour, it's going to be the midday edition, a production for News and Current Affairs Department. For those of you that is on television, I send you back to Master Control for your regular programming. For those of you that's on radio, we continue with the great music right here on Classic in the morning time, Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band.